Let's go.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a Wednesday AMA. Yesterday we were just chatting. We just had a little bit of community discussion, didn't have a formal AMA or anything like that. But today we're back, got a formal AMA, and I have something that I want to talk to you guys about and kind of like present your way, which is an idea that we got here at the office. And I'm going to get right into it. Before we went live right now, we were all talking with just with some of the people that were in here in the Telegram channel, and it's funny enough, people are recommending to talk about new ideas in terms of like how we can develop more and progress the technology in different avenues, different ways, whether that's proof of work, whether that's different meme coins, whatever the case, millions of different ideas in the world of crypto. So an idea that we got, and we were just sitting here talking around with the rest of the guys on the team, and obviously we have our launchpad. Obviously we have entire ecosystem. Obviously we have all these tools, all the bells, all the whistles, to be able to kind of jumpstart anything that we want, right? Whether it's a new project, whether it's a new product, whether it's a new, whatever you call it. So we were thinking, we're like, what's something that nobody has ever done in the space? And we sat there and thought about it. We weren't thinking about a project. We weren't thinking about a product. We were the only thing that we were thinking about is what's something that nobody has done in the space. Trying to figure it out, because it's a big space. There's millions of people, and people do a million different things, right? So it's kind of hard to narrow it down to figure out something that no one's ever done. That's like legitimately possible to do. So we sat there for a little bit, and an idea came up where we were like, no community project has ever launched, and the project was created and launched by the community. And what do I mean by that? Is like, all right, so you guys go on live new pairs, you guys see a project or whatever, or however you find out about a project, whether it's through Telegram, through Twitter, through a friend, through your mom, through your dad, through an email, through whatever, right? There's a million different ways to find out about a project, and then you become a part of the project. And then there's the other side where it's like you're the one who starts the project. Think me, think Peter, think Alex, right? Think devs. Think the people who start the project, and obviously they're automatically a part of the project. Now, what about if you can like combine those two sectors together, where devs meet community, community meets devs, devs and community create project? Now, where am I getting at here? What I'm getting at here is, what if we create a competition, a contest, a social experiment, a type of launch that's never been seen before? Maybe it's not even a launch, maybe it's just a project, maybe it's just a product, but I want to give the people a chance to launch the next project. I want you guys to be the devs in the sense of like coming up with the idea. And I think we're going to pick, like, what we could do is we could like present like an idea form, right? Whether it's like a form or whether it's like a Discord channel or a Telegram or whatever, where people go in there and they type in their ideas, their project, and what they think will be successful. And then the rest of the community can vote on it, put their own thoughts on it. They can give their own ideas. And then once everybody's on the same page and it's like, yo, this is the craziest thing, let's build this, we will fund it, build it, launch it. Everybody will be a part of it. The people who the people who come up with the best idea obviously will win some prizes, will win some money, will win whatever. I think we can do some crazy stuff with this idea, man. And especially like me coming in here right now, and the first thing that was pretty much brought up my way was, hey, Leo, why don't you guys launch a proof of work type fork gold into a proof of work? Maybe that's the idea that is the winning idea, right? Maybe we're like, you know what, screw it. Let's turn gold into a proof of work token where people can mine it using their GPUs. Maybe that's the $1 million idea. And I think that could be badass. And I think the ideas shouldn't be limited to one thing. They shouldn't be limited to gold. They shouldn't be limited to ShibaDoge. They shouldn't be limited to burn. They can include anything that your creative minds can come up with in a sense, right? The only baseline is we do 100% need to have taxes because that's obviously how we support the growth of anything. So whatever you guys come up with, keep that in mind, where it's like, all right, well, it's not going to be use like our current projects like Doge, ShibaDoge, and Burn as baselines as far as like the structure of like the taxes and stuff. Like, I'm not saying like 15% tax like ShibaDoge, but like maybe like a 5%, something minimal that's not like, you know, overly excessive, but that can help support a project. And I think I'm curious to see what you guys come up with, because 100% whatever we like the most, we're going to help bring to life. And nobody in the space has ever done this in a sense. And I think like if we can come up with something like this as a community, whether it's like something that benefits gold, where you guys are like, yo, let's launch this, the taxes can accumulate and you can buy gold, burn gold, whatever, right? Or whatever the idea is. I think we could build it into something crazy, especially if we get over 10,000 plus people inside of a Telegram channel pre-launch. I think we'll be crazy. What do you guys think of an idea like that?
Leo, that sounds great, but with taxes, you could probably, if it's going to be proof of work, it's really not going to work.
No, I agree. If it's going to be proof of work,
this is the way I think about Leo. Okay, so if we do proof of work and you do some sort of mineable, I reckon it's going to be fantastic, because you're going to get you're going to get more than 10,000 people wanting to jump in the Telegram group if it's going to be a mineable coin, right? But the way I see, if you're going to get taxes, so if you're going to create a proof of work, from that day one of the Genesis block gets created, it has to be mineable, it has to be a fair launch. No one could be pre-mining or anything like that. So from day one, everyone gets on board, say, guys, this is the hash, whatever it is that you're going to be mining. Everyone's going to have, it's going to be.
And how does that work? So let me, sorry to cut you off, but let me ask you this, because so like, let's say we create a mineable, like let's say we turn gold into a mineable token, right? So
no, it have to be a different one. So yeah, let's not.
Okay, let me just use gold as an example. So pretend gold had never been launched, right? Pretend gold is not launched, and we're launching gold. So if I were to launch gold right now, and I wanted it to be a mineable token, would people be able to come in and buy a max wallet of gold immediately, or would they have to wait for those tokens to be able to be mined? And then
exactly.
I see.
It has to be mined, and then you have to get a you have to get a market maker. Everyone uses TradeOrg for the very first beginnings to basically to trade the coins. And once it's basically on the secondary market, then everyone goes for gold and starts buying it up.
Okay, so they wouldn't be tradable on like ERC20, would they? It'd have to be tradable on its own blockchain.
Basically, it's your own blockchain.
Yeah.
If you're going to create an ecosystem and then have your own blockchain, I reckon this could probably work, right? Because and then having a think about it, if you want to do taxes, you could say to the community, say, well, guys, I've got so many GPUs, this is going to be running this particular wallet. You know what I mean? So you got your GPUs running, it's going into a particular wallet, that's going to be the marketing fund. You could do it in that way. You know what I mean?
Okay, but then how would the project be profitable? Like, how would the growth of the project be bringing in money through the taxes that it generates from the people mining, or how would that even?
No. You're not going to get any taxes. That's what I'm saying. You're going to have to create some sort of like basically. You're going to have your own machines kind of funding that wallet. So you're outlaying, say, like whatever GPUs to basically funding that wallet 24 hours, about 7 days a week. So as you're mining and as the actual coin starts to grow, your coins are going to be worth more, and that could be your marketing wallet. But there's going to be no taxes because it's basically a fair launch and zero taxes by in and out. You can probably create the taxes from the, I don't know, on the exchange side, but I've never seen it happen. But it's basically 0.
Hang on 1 second, guys. 1 second. I got to just reconnect my headset. I'll be right back. 1 second.
Man, if they're going to do that, Oh, dude, you know how many GPUs I'll be buying?
Yeah, man. Let's see. There's
It'll
more
be
people,
interesting.
man. Want to hear what everyone else are thinking about that?
Well, could you fork burn token or no?
No, well, there's no point in forking any of our coins because it's on the Ethereum network. Unless you're going to fork the Ethereum network, then you create your own blockchain, right? But if you're going to fork something, you want to fork something that's basically the latest and greatest, and that's the one that's got the biggest noise at the moment. And the Casper network is one of the biggest noise at the moment. And someone's already forked that particular Casper, and then it's taken off. But yeah, just by hype. You know?
So what sort of outlay are we talking? You talking a $200,000 rig or what?
No.
From the beginning.
From the beginning, you could just be using your computer to mine it.
Now, Roof says he has an Acer, so they don't have a lot of, let's say, guts. So what are we talking? RAM? What are we talking? Hard drive size?
No,
what are we talking?
Yeah, that's something beyond my thing, man. Like with it all really depends on what the capabilities of the actual, say, your GPU is producing. So obviously, the more expensive GPU that they're on the market, you're going to get higher yield. Right? If you've got something like that's a 10-year-old computer, then obviously you're probably going to get nothing. You're just going to get hit with electricity bill. So that's how you have to weigh it up.
So basically, you're going to have to more than likely buy a new computer to get in this game, mining.
Mm-hmm.
Well, look, that's the thing. It's like it could be any idea. It doesn't have to be mining. Like this could be one of the ideas. But what I'm more curious about is to see how like we could get a community of people working together or bringing it. Like remember how we wanted to do the DAO a long time ago and have people put their propositions in and like we could bring it to life or whatnot. I think that system was kind of flawed because there wasn't really like much structure of what to build and what to bring on board, and it was more or less like trying to build onto a product that already like didn't fit a lot of the themes of what people were suggesting to build. But I think if you start fresh and like have it be built from the scratch up as a completely fresh thing, I think it could be something that works. Like if it's a community involved thing. Now, I'm just curious to see what people will come up with. I think it's going to be a pretty big thing as long as we could get people to be creative. I think it could be cool. I think the way that it could be marketed could be cool. I think the way that other people could come participate could be cool. I'm just more or less curious to see what people are going to be talking about in the sense, especially it's like who comes here and says like, hey, you have a opportunity to bring your idea to life and we'll fund it. And then shit, maybe you never know. Maybe you have a spot on the team. You get what I'm saying? Like that can also be an option in the future.
Hey, Leo.
Hey, what's up, brother?
Hey, I used to mine on my computer, and I was using this program called T-Rex, and maybe you know a little bit more about this, but there was a place in there where it was setting a percentage of what I was mining to go back to the developer or whatever. I was using this place called hold on. It's unmineable.com.
That's still available, man. Unmineable.
Yeah, okay, but what Leo was talking or asking about, taxes or whatever, couldn't those quote unquote taxes be generated through that percentage of the coins that are being mined by each person. You know what I'm saying?
That's a partnership with Unmineable then. You'd have to actually create that partnership.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is there a possibility to set that up for what Leo's talking about?
That's something in the back end, man. That's the. You could probably do it, but
There's a lot of.
Yeah, you want it as proof of work. I can definitely see it, Leo. The way that guys are talking about mining, and especially GPU mining, you got influencers just jumping at the chance, just wanting to promote it. You don't even have to call them. Soon as you're actually launching a POW, that people know it's, and then especially with the community that we already have, if you create something like this, dude, holy shit, you're going to get not just like your Ethereum-based influencers, you're going to get people from a totally different network of crypto community. The guys that I I'm starting to listen to is totally different to what you'll hear on an ERC20 token. Like, these guys are so geeky in a way where they basically show off their rigs, they're talking about it, they talk how you go through the steps of mining these particular coins and everything. And there's so many thousands of people just listening in because they want to hear how you can mine from your computer. And it's
because
free.
Everybody has the computer, right?
Exactly. And people just jump at the chance to do that for their community members around the world. And you're not having to pay for these influencers.
Can you mine through your phone too?
Yeah, people using CPU mining and all that, and apparently within your phones you can actually CPU mine.
It won't be anywhere near as profitable as, say, a high-power computer, but it's possible.
It's possible. It's well within the hash rate that you guys choose.
There's a lot of people that'll do it. A ton of people.
Let me ask you this then. So that project that you're saying that forked Casper, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do they generate value to the token? Like, what does the token that people mine do? Like, what's the purpose of that token?
That particular token is all hype. It actually went higher than the actual Casper price. And that's the thing.
So it's a meme token. It's a meme token.
It's a meme token. And the problem is they use the Casper community to basically convert all their GPUs to be mining that Carlson token. And it's all meme. And this is the thing. Like, we already have a community base. We already have an ecosystem. Now, how about we look forward to actually creating our own blockchain to be able to network the whole ecosystem together?
And you're saying there are tools out there to create this, or this is something that we have to hire our development team to do?
You'll probably. I don't know if you guys can create blockchains, but a mineable one. But make sure it's proof of work. So start
Leo,
talking with your guys.
Is TD on?
Yeah, Leo, it is. It's very interesting that we are talking from meme world suddenly into a proper network kind of a token. Like, we're talking Casper, we're talking. Very interesting. Just so you know, Leo, it's pretty intense for you guys. For us, it's easy because we just need to buy an Antminer or any kind of rig, and we will mine. But for you guys, it's pretty intense. So I don't think, sorry to be blunt, but I don't think you guys are cut out yet with that kind of infrastructure.
No.
Hold on.
Yeah, TD. Yeah.
No. Let me explain. No. Call it spade, guys. You know, given what I have seen so far, Leo, I don't think we are there yet. You have to invest a whole bunch in developing and fostering the infrastructure. At this point, I mean, good research, good point. We all like it proof of work.
There could be another team, TD.
Yeah, it could be. That's my point. I think, but it is nothing that you can launch. First and foremost, you all need to be in the zone. Highly technical guys. You need to be there in the zone, right? You can't be just business savvy people running this. Most of these are launched by good tech savvy people, network tokens.
Technical minded.
Technical minded people. That's my point. I think just let's leave it at that. I think that's a great idea. And definitely food for thought, Leo, for you and the team, I guess.
I wouldn't totally be against like having the meme blockchain, if you really think about it. And people can mine meme coin. Definitely. Or something like that.
Definitely.
Like meme coin blockchain.
What is the value? Like you asked a very serious question. What is the value of these? Yeah.
But TD, that's the thing. You have to, like, now is the opportunity to start looking forward on actually to start blossoming that ecosystem. You can only do so
I'm not
far
disputing it all. No,
but
I'm
if
not
you can
disputing.
actually
I think you presented a great idea. I think that needs to be looked into. I think it is something like, a seed has been put, and I think Leo, like you said, a blockchain for meme tokens is a great idea, I guess. I don't know what it leads to, but sounding, just while he says it, everything he says sounds good anyways. But but I think it's a great idea. The point is, proof of work by default is a network token. And you asked a very simple question: is how does it generate value? For us, value is in multiple ways. One is the network token originating a new token in the ecosystem itself is a value, for the network, that is. Whenever the mining happens, a new token comes into the ecosystem. That's what mining does. That itself is value for the network, right? But like if you take Bitcoin, for example, they forked Bitcoin and created a Lightning network. And why they did that is because it did not have enough speed. Bitcoin didn't have enough speed. So Lightning network was forked from Bitcoin network, and they created an entire ecosystem around it. And basically what they do is, now what is the use case there? If you go to some countries who have implemented Bitcoin as their currency in South America, you can pay your restaurant bills, you can pay anything and everything with Lightning network. And they basically take all of that and send it to Bitcoin blocks. But, everything else is managed by Lightning network. Just the final posting into the blocks, relevant blocks, is done by Lightning network and the original Bitcoin, right? So you can create a whole bunch of folks and create a whole bunch of utility, different types of utility. Sky's the limit, right? And somebody else figured out something about ordinals, about NFT, how to store more information into a block of data. So they created a different utility for NFTs for ordinals. So my point is, these network tokens, when designed and when expanded in terms of folks, can give you limitless opportunities. It's not one. I can't just summarize it in this 5 minutes for you. These are like limitless opportunities. You can do so many things, right? It doesn't have to stop at one or two or three, and every one of these things will just generate limitless opportunities for you.
It's not that.
Just
you gotta hold on a second. Like, we obviously, everyone with proof of work. Okay, so once you have your own blockchain, you can create Ethereum virtual machines that can create that. Basically, you can actually then cater for the ShibaDoge ecosystem. This is what TD is saying. You got to have technical minded team. But once you have your own blockchain, you can actually make it so basic that fosters the ShibaDoge Ethereum ecosystem on that blockchain. So it really it's really how you guys want to see the future, because at the moment we know where memes and everything's going to go from now until say 5 to 10 years from now. But if there's no value, especially in a Ethereum project where there's so many that's on the market, but if you've got a proof of work where everyone's trying to mine it and talk about it and everything like that, then it's a use case. But at the moment, what our use case is trying to get people on board to try to buy the actual token. But we want to try to look forward thinking on how can we try to create everything together. This is the time to actually start doing it. You know, don't limit yourselves just to start another coin or another project, because it can only go so far. Like within the Ethereum, you know, ERC20. So if you're going to be serious about what you're trying to do, Leo, within the actual ecosystem, start, you know, looking forward to the future. Or what
Leo
you guys want to do.
has Leo dropped out, guys?
I
think Leo's dropped out, man. Give me a second. Yeah, Leo's not here. Or you talking to? I don't know. Dev's not in the house, bro.
Can listen back.
I think you have to wait.
But do you know what I mean, Ruth?
But
Yeah,
I think there are two things. I think you've got an excellent point here, Top Secret. The bigger question I think I wanted to ask, I mean, I think we've talked last 20 minutes about it, but once Leo comes back, I need to be more specific.
Drop out for a
Were you
second.
hearing me, Leo?
He's back.
I got disconnected for the past like 90 seconds or something like that.
Okay. I was just saying, you guys need to start looking forward to the future, or where you want to kind of take the ShibaDoge ecosystem to. I think you can only do so much within the ERC20 realm, but as soon as you have your own blockchain, then you can start having, like, you know, Ethereum virtual machines to cater for the ShibaDoge ecosystem.
Now let me ask you guys this: Would we be able to fork a lot of like what we've got on ERC20 built on ERC20 to our own blockchain as well? So it's like it could be cross-chain, or
Ethereum virtual machine.
So that's what that is. The Ethereum virtual machine.
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
That's why you're seeing a lot of blockchains now, like XRP. You got your Casper that's going to create their own blockchains, but they're going to have Ethereum virtual machines running off it. So you can actually take half of the Ethereum programmers wanting to jump onto that particular blockchain because the fees are cheaper, it's more scalable, and it's more faster in a sense, and it's very security. It's got a lot of security on it. So this is why people create their own blockchains to kind of combat that. So as soon as they put the Ethereum virtual machines on there, then people can start moving onto that virtual machine and start putting on their own tokens and whatnot on it.
So Leo, you asked a very good question today, you know, the value part of it. This is a very interesting question because technically speaking, in a centralized environment today, like take for example Microsoft and take for example Google, or Apple for that matter, the experience that they provide, which we call user interface, that is what provides a user a value, right? And the back-end side of things, which is how it is all connected, is you are not interested. As a user, you're not interested because what actually gives value to you is that front end, right? That's how we ask questions today. What is the value of this? What is the value of that? In decentralized world, you don't see it that way because technically there is already, people have realized this and they have actually created these networks. The networks are like Bitcoin network as a network, Ethereum as a network, Casper as a network, Sol as a network, AVAX as a network, you know, all of these are networks, Phantom as a network. And what they have done is, in the past, if you go to the centralized environment, in the past, what would have happened is, till Microsoft didn't sell its product to somebody, the underlying layers, which is the Cisco routers and the networks and things, they were not getting sold, right? Because they had to be on top of something. And the top of something is the front end of some kind, which Microsoft would sell or others would sell. These guys have realized, okay, now the difference between the old and the new in the decentralized world is the networks have come out first and say, hey, I have come out, you develop whatever you want on top of my network, and everything that you do on this network is based on my token. And this is how the networks have generated value for themselves. Do you understand? And that's the way we launch our applications, like ShibaDoge application, Gold application, whatever other application on top of it, ERC network. So whenever we do something, the network is generating money by default, right? It is not what ShibaDoge offers. ShibaDoge will always earn less money than what the network will earn. Network will always continuously earn money in this process. Does that make sense? So the network definitely has more.
Yeah, so the miners are actually going to get a lot more, Leo, because they're there to obviously generate electricity. Like basically, they're using their electricity to create a coin. As they're starting to create coins, they're obviously going to get, they're going to get paid for it, and the network does that. And the only time that someone that you see value within the coin is once it goes onto the market and it starts to be tradable. Okay, and that's the thing. We've already got an ecosystem. We've already got a community. I've got thousands of members within our community, within the cross chains of your Burn, ShibaDoge, and you got your gold. Now, just imagine bringing another aspect of that mining community to what we have now. Like it's I'm just thinking about it, man. But that's what TD said. You need obviously technical minded devs, even if you have another team that kind of focuses on that. So it's
Yeah. So real quick, Leo. Sorry, I got a call. I got disconnected. So real quick, I just wanted to make a point. So yes, doing a network is very involved process for the devs, for you guys. It's a pretty involved process. You need to have a proper vision. You have to have very clear, like your 888 vision kind of vision, right? Very clear and very technical, deep vision in it. But I think there is another aspect to this whole thing. While that is a great goal to have, do a fork and sit on it, because technically speaking, at this point, decentralization is not as matured as it should be. There are a lot of components in decentralization which is not matured at this point. The only, call it a business layer or a logic layer, which we call smart contract, is the only thing that is decentralized today. But the storage is not decentralized. The UI is not decentralized. And the moment these things will be decentralized, that's game over for everybody, because everybody will be living in a completely new world. Everything will be seen differently. Like you will just empower the community members a whole bunch in this new world where everything will be decentralized. But we are not there yet. We're not there yet. So the question,
but that's the thing.
But the point is that a lot of companies today are trying to do it, and that again is requiring a lot of other aspects to it. Like there are concepts of identity management, security aspects, right? They call it zero knowledge proof. There are a lot of things that all of these technical minded people are working on these networks, and whoever cracks the code first is going to be the kingpin and build the entire decentralization game. I don't know. It may not be Ethereum in the long run. It may be somebody who's like Casper.
Ethereum is decentralized, bro. As soon as it moved to proof of stake, it's being centralized.
No, I understand that. No, that is just the consensus mechanism. But my point is, these are concepts that need to happen in this world, right? Maybe in that guy is not yet born. Maybe he will be born tomorrow and he will solve it, right? The concept is these things need to still get decoupled and they need to get organized. But my bigger question, sorry to take this long winded. My bigger question is, I think whatever little we have or more we have, you have created in 2 years a whole bunch of things in your ecosystem. And I think still, we can do a whole bunch with what we have right now, right? I know it may not be as glorified as a proof of work network. While Top Secret has presented that idea, we should definitely give it a thought and set up a whole team. But my thing is that is a pretty much a year, 2-year endeavor if you start doing it now, because it was, if you do it any quicker, that means you're not putting enough thought into it, and you need to really, like, I don't know what other businesses you all have. This should become your full-time business. It's pretty intense business to be in the network, right? And it involves a lot of capital. Like Sol, when it started, Sol raised about $120 million.
But that's the difference. Hold on a second.
Launched like $60, $70
that's the
million.
difference between. TD,
Go ahead.
hold on a second. That's the difference between a seed funded. You got like VCs funding your Sol. That's truly centralized. But when you're talking proof of work, it's basically fair launch from day one.
No,
This is the difference. It's not. It's regardless of regardless of consensus, bro.
No,
as soon as you start,
let me just say something. Let me get my point across. I'm not debating with you at all, Top Secret. So I'm not underplaying your idea. So let's keep that aside for a second. I'm not talking about proof of work for a minute. I want to say something else to Leo. My point is, Leo, I think we have gold, we have burn, we have a lot of interesting things within our portfolio right now. And I think, we can do a few things here and now, which I think as a project will be very quick and getting a lot more eyes in the ecosystem. Like, very simply put, we can do, I don't know if Ruf has already talked to you or not, but we can do something like, within the gold system, we can actually, like, I don't want to use the word right now as mining or something like that, but we can actually put, or staking as a word. But my point is, just like we do deployments, we can do some kind of gold extraction for gold tokens. We can lock them up for a certain period in time, and we can put some rewards up there. So
that's not going to work, TD. You need liquidity.
Hold on. I understand. Okay. I mean, your idea is grandeur, man. Your idea.
No. It's not ideal. It's not TD. I'm trying to work out for you guys as well.
Oh my God! Okay. It can't be proof of work or nothing else. We can't talk then, right?
TD, you have to realize what we've done with our staking system already.
Okay, Leo,
think about it, how people selling their tokens.
Please do proof of work. I'm done.
Well, look,
I'm done. Sorry.
But I'm just trying to be fair.
Plan coming up for gold. Can we divert to that and talk about the marketing and the crazy things that we have planned and kind of work through while we kind of look at some of those longer term stuff?
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, obviously, this is obviously like trying to, we're just talking through ideas to try to figure out how we can expand in terms of bringing new eyes. And I think, like, talking about stuff isn't an issue. Like, we're not here coming in saying, like, this is what we're doing, this is what we're not doing. This is more or less just like a community, like, discussion that we're just having. So,
yeah, I think
clear. Yeah, can I be? Yeah. Sorry, Ruth, can I just be frank? Okay, I hopefully I kind of speak on what people are thinking. Okay, I've been in this community since day one, and yes, I've been ups and downs, especially with our staking rewards and the NFTs and everything. But it can only go so far. Yes, I see what TD is saying in regards of putting gold and then locking it up, but at the end of the day, you still need liquidity. If no one's trading the coin, you're not going to get anything. It's not going to be worth anything at all, right? You can have so many coins within your wallet, but can you actually sell those coins? Okay, so everyone needs to come to reality on where you want the actual market to go. If you want liquidity or high traded volume, then you create something new to get everyone on board. But But the way I see the ShibaDoge ecosystem is it's centralized in a way where obviously the devs have kind of control all that. But if you kind of balance that out now with something like you want to do it with another idea, say proof of work, then you've balanced that out. You're basically letting another community control that proof of work, right? There's no centralized entity controlling that proof of work. You're basically letting the actual community run that 100%. Yes, you can have the Ethereum side of the ShibaDoge ecosystem within that you guys control it, but then have the other side of proof of work where the community has 100% control over it. They're the ones who's going to foster that actual project. From day
where does
one.
where does the liquidity for tokens like that even come from? Is that just through the market makers and people?
From market makers. As soon as you start mining and you've got those particular tokens that you've mined, you start talking to market makers. You can actually talk to an exchange, say, guys, this is proof of work. This is what we've done within our Ethereum ecosystem. Now we're doing a proof of work. As soon as we start mining from day one, it's going to be fair launch for everything. You're going to have a lot of exchanges doing a song and dance about it. And these are sort of things that you guys need to kind of come together with, because the way I see it, like you can only go so much for what we have now at the moment is ecosystem. And I'm being frank, Leo, like you know me, right?
Well, no, I mean, look, what I understand is technology moves in a way where it's much faster than the way humans can operate and even function and the capabilities of. So I understand, like, being able to be ahead of the curve is how you pretty much stay successful, be successful.
You need to be ahead of the curve. Exactly.
Now, this is obviously something that we have no experience in, right? Building a proof of work blockchain. Like, that's obviously something that we'd have to hire manpower.
A team.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, I'm not saying yes, I'm not saying no. I'm saying I'll look into it and I'll definitely have more conversations about seeing what the potential value of it you know, being introduced in our ecosystem can be. Look,
just do a SWOT analysis on it, and you'll probably see your pros and cons.
Yeah, exactly. There needs to be a analysis on it for sure. But realistically, like, I would want it to support and continue to help build what we currently have that is built, right? So,
but why wouldn't it though?
Yeah, exactly. It's just the integration.
Yeah, exactly. It's you guys are thinking of going to the Polygon because it's a faster, cheaper solution. But now, why wouldn't you have your own blockchain to do everything that you guys can that we can, you know, within that proof of work?
No, I don't think it's a bad idea. Like, imagine having like a blockchain that is centered around just meme coins, and every meme coin out there can like have like a cross-chain functionality with it. Like, that's how we can market it to like other meme coins, or it's like,
yeah, imagine moving Siberia onto it. Wink, wink.
You do that.
Where you gonna generate all the funds from, bro? To even build it? Where you gonna generate? Where's all that money gonna come from?
To generate it is just code, bro. There's no money involved in generating code. The money involved is basically creating a team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But
the whole
money,
thing.
That's the dev side. You know, if they see value in that, then they look forward thinking. But to create value within the coin is us making hype about it. It's because it's new.
Yeah, for them to get a team and all that, it's gonna cost a shitload of money, right? So they're gonna pay for that.
We don't know that. They might know people within their network that can jump on.
Yeah, but these developers,
we're not part of that. We're not part of that roof.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying. But like, I'm just saying, it's a high cost, right?
I think roof's a fifth dev, bro.
Nah, bro. I'm just saying, bro. Like the devs, it's a lot of money, man. I mean, I'm sure.
I don't know. I don't know what it takes to build a blockchain, but I'm sure it's not cheap. No, like let's be real.
Nah, it's not gonna be cheap, bro.
Yeah.
I work for beer. I work for beer.
Yeah. But the thing is, it's like if it's worth building, we won't say no to something that's worth it. You get what I'm saying? Like even if it costs X amount, if we know it can generate X amount and it can generate whatever type of value that it's going to bring to the ecosystem, then we put the money in. It's not that's
Hold on a second. I'm going to send you a link where there's only one page for proof of work mining coins, and everyone knows about it around the world who are miners. I'll send you this link. And if as people start, just say if we were to do it, just imagine now moving up within this rank. I'll show you. Did you get that link?
Hang on 1 second. Let me open that up. Okay, yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Bitcoin being number one.
That's the mineable coins.
All 26 pages of this, or just the first page?
Dude. It's your whole 26 pages. So as you start moving up the ranks, you're basically going to get within those couple of pages.
So let's see here. The lowest market cap on page one. The lowest market cap on page one is 141 million. Okay. That's not too crazy. And then you got number one, which is 838 billion, right? At Bitcoin. Yeah.
And look at Dogecoin, bro.
13.6 billion.
Dogecoin, that's what they've created. So Dogecoin, again.
I'm not surprised that Dogecoin is number. Yeah, I'm not surprised Dogecoin is number two. It should be number one, but
Peter would be happy.
Yeah. Damn, these. Okay, so number 7 is the Caspa coin you guys are talking about.
It's moving up, man. Yep. And see, we could just create the algorithm as ShibaDoge hash, and then create your own algorithm.
And then what is this? So I clicked into it. I clicked onto one of them, and now it's another page of like 37 different websites.
Yeah,
are these?
So those websites, they're your partners that you want to start talking to, or you create your own nodes to basically mine the coins.
Okay, so these are nodes pretty much. These websites.
So they're pretty much they're known nodes. Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Interesting. See, this is part of the space that I really don't venture too deep into. But it's interesting to see all this right now.
Why do you think I moved away from ERC20 tokens, bro? You can only do so much in meme coins. The mining space is a totally different aspect. People actually use it as a business. So as soon as you start generating electricity, creating coins, it's a business in a sense.
And what are you mining right now?
Bro, I love Caspa.
So what happens if, like, let's say, like, you want to use your hardware to mine, like, the ShibaDoge blockchain? Like, you could do that as long as it's built on the same type of
algorithm. So that's so you're creating your own algorithm as your own proof of work. But there is companies out there that you can actually use your Bitcoin mining, you can use my Caspa mining, and we can actually change that. We can convert that particular coin into, say, whatever proof of work that you guys are going to do. So we can always change that. So I can actually mine Casper, but when it goes into my wallet, it can be Bitcoin. So the actual entity that does that, you have to have a partner with.
I got you. So you can't mine multiple tokens at the same time. You have to pick and choose which one.
No. Yeah. With GPU mining, you can probably do multiple mining. It depends on how you actually set up your rig. But as soon as you get into ASIC mining and your FPGAs, they're kind of dedicated algorithm sort of mining for those machines. But as soon as you start getting into that sort of heavy machinery, people know that your network is secureable. It's getting into that stage where people want to start mining it to secure the network, and you want to secure a network. And this is why you see Casper. It's phenomenal, and the hash rates from when I started within the Casper network was around the 28 petahash. Within that 3.5 months, it's at almost 104 petahash. And this is, even though the coin hasn't grown, hasn't generated that value, but when you're seeing a lot of machines coming onto the network, you know something's happening in the background. It's basically an upgrade now to maybe a form of transactions per seconds, or even maybe having their own smart contracts coming on the network. So this is why, like, there's different aspects of it. Like, yes, you see the hash rate go up, but the coin's stable. But you know something's happening because the network's hash rate is going up. People are spending millions of dollars on these machinery just mining in the background. So
I know. I've been seeing. Yeah. Look, the reason why I'm so curious is because, look, now you're talking about it, and I don't find it to be a coincidence that literally my entire crypto feed on, like, whatever pages I follow for, like, the social media pages, all they've been talking about is the mining stuff, like, right now.
Exactly. Right? So yep, proof of work is where it is at the moment. And can I tell you something as well? It is like, I know Casper, but Bitcoin maxis, right? When Bitcoin maxis only talk about Bitcoin, they don't talk about anything else.
Right.
But then when you have Casper and you got Bitcoin maxis talking about Casper, now that's bullish. So that's the thing. Like, this is where it is at the moment. If you got something that's kind of native to whatever Bitcoin can do, then people start talking about it. If you got
what does Casper do? Like, what is their purpose of existence? Like, other than them being a layer 2, like, do they have like or layer 1? I'm sorry. Like, what's their purpose other than just being a layer 1? Do they have like
basically peer-to-peer? It is what's supposed to be the Bitcoin consensus of the Nakamoto consensus, Satoshi consensus, of that peer-to-peer transaction. But since it couldn't do that, everyone's kind of now is saying it's a store of value. So Casper is that basically Bitcoin 2.0, where it's taking that consensus as a peer-to-peer transaction. This is what their number one goal is to do for time being. Is because it's obviously faster transactional speed. It's decentralized and it's scalable, and it's very secure.
So it's basically a meme coin, like Dogecoin. Literally the same thing in a sense.
No, it's not a meme coin.
No, it's a layer. It's not a meme coin, man.
I got you. But like, in terms of like the functionality, like it'll do the same thing that Dogecoin can do. It's a peer-to-peer, like, store of value, or you can use it to transact.
But Dogecoin at the moment is a meme coin. They don't have any technology behind it. They're not trying to create any technology behind it. They're trying to have partnerships maybe with Elon. That's basically it.
Right.
But
that's what I'm saying. Like,
Casper's trying to do.
Yeah, that's what I want to figure out. What they're trying to do.
Applications and everything. So when you actually have a look within the Casper, within the the languages that they have within the Casper thing to to tell them what Casper is all about. Its language is from these third world countries.
Right.
These not so, you know, what do you call it? Yeah, basically, you know, these countries that are less fortunate.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, like a lower lower ecosystem.
The unbanked.
No, Leo, layer one is, when we say layer one, like Ethereum is layer one, these are network tokens, Leo. So network tokens is what you need to have to build applications on top of it.
Exactly.
Right? The main utility, like when you say, what is the utility? That's what I was trying to explain before. The utility itself, the network itself is the utility. The network on top of which people can build a lot of applications on top of that network, right? To do all of that work, they have something called consensus. That consensus model can be either proof of work, proof of stake, proof of delegated stake, proof of this, proof of that. There are about 21 different consensus models, right? That is how they will actually do checks and balances, whether a certain transaction has been posted, not posted, balanced, not balanced, all of that stuff. They do all of that with a consensus model called proof of work, proof of stake, and all of these are called consensus model. So Casper and Bitcoin are on something called proof of work. The very nature, by inherently that they are a network token, that is itself a utility for them. Because whenever some transaction happens on it, even any checks and balances for the network also happens on it. That is
I get it.
It's a new token emerges. So that itself is a utility. It's a network
utility,
utility.
Yeah.
That itself is it doesn't need to be that like it doesn't need to have staking on it. It doesn't need to have any of that thing on top of it yet. The network itself is a utility. You know? Layer one network itself is a utility.
So you can create basically that native token is your utility. So at the end of the day, you could use that as a gas token as well. Your native token could be your gas token.
Exactly. Like
it could be the gas token for everything of the ShibaDoge ecosystem.
Exactly. Like today we go in Ethereum, and there are thousands and thousands of apps which are on top of Ethereum. Right? When Ethereum got launched, he did not have all these applications on top of it. He just launched an Ethereum network. And in those days, these are all derivatives of Bitcoin, right? Those days, he used to be proof of work as well. Ethereum was proof of work as well. Right? Then he went last year into something called proof of stake. That means he changed his consensus model and he went to proof of stake. Now, with that, he got some speed, but there are some other things that it makes it more centralized and all that stuff. But then we don't need to get into that discussion. But that Ethereum, whenever a transaction, a block is validated, generates a certain amount of Ethereum, is rewarded to the miners. They get rewarded. So all of these will reward when a block is validated. Any of these network tokens, whether Casper, whether Polygon, whether whoever, Solana, Ethereum, whenever their block gets validated, a new token emerges. That itself is a utility for network. People actually, right?
That's their job, right?
That's their job. Yeah, exactly. That's how new tokens emerge. And then what happens is people like you, who is a dev for app meme coins, or somebody can develop some kind of use cases, right? Utilities, different types of utilities. They then come on top of these layers and they create their own. They create their own on top of it. So if you had to do something that Top Secret is saying right now, you can most probably take a Casper network, and you can split, or fork is what they call, fork the network, and then you can have your own Basically, you have your now chain, basically your own blockchain. And now you need to sit down and think, okay, what is something I want to do different here? Maybe maybe you want to specialize in energy sector. You want to specialize in retail sector. You want to specialize in some, like XRP specialize. I'm just taking it doesn't do this, but I'm just saying XRP today, or they specialize in Swift, the banking system. So they have created a niche product around it, right? So like that, you can create a lot of very specific utilities, or you can just leave it like an Apple store where people will come and develop apps on top of your network. You know, the sky's the limit at that point. Does that make sense?
That's the thing, Leo. You don't want to actually
this conversation.
create a whole new blockchain.
I just got a question about the burn event.
Sure, go ahead.
We've hit 5 ETH in buy, so I was wondering how soon you guys will do the buyback and burn. Is that easy to do? Like now, while we're all here? Because that'd be pretty bullish.
I can answer that. I mean, it's not. It wasn't a 5 ETH buyback and burn. I've mentioned it many times in the chat that it's the tokens the devs already hold. That's what's the 5 ETH is gonna come from there. The buyback and burn is happening from the 15% tax on the burn token. So all the buys and sell on burn the 15% tax will basically be used to buy back and burn. But the 5 ETH, every time we hit 5 ETH, that's coming from tokens already held. But yeah, I'll shoot it off to Peter, man. Busy. Get done.
Okay, thanks, man.
Did we just hit the 5 ETH in volume?
Yeah, the last buy.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, it'll happen, man. It's not going to be instant because we have to do it manually. So once Peter gets on, he'll probably do it.
Yeah, that's cool. I just thought if it was easy, we could do it now and be bullish as fuck for it at AMA. That's all.
So this the question he asked right now. 5 ETH buy, right? And was there a buy going to happen? Supposing, just take that as a use case. What if you generated a common, a smart contract that can look into any token, and anybody who has a 510 parameterized, right? They call it programmability. They can come and say, hey, if I hit this threshold, I will do auto burn. Something like that. That then is a utility that you have created uniquely on top of ShibaDoge fork. You created a very niche product on top of that proof of work fork, whatever that network is. Now, can that happen everywhere? Yes, it can happen in any network. But you can then offer, like people can either create or you can then offer, or you can just take an entire retail sector and say, hey, I will be ready to accept any payments. You should be able to do your demand forecasting on my network. You can be able to do this or that, logistics. I don't know, sky's the limit at that point. You can do anything you want, right? Just like XRP has done. XRP has just taken the entire banking sector, and it facilitates movement of funds between banks, right? That's what the ecosystem is designed to do, right? Nowadays, it's expanding into a lot more areas, but the base use case was that, right? So once you have a network, sky's the limit for you. If you want to specialize, that is, into something, or you can just open it up like a Apple Store and invite people to come and build. That's what Ethereum and everybody else does. They have created a network and invited people like Apple Store or Google Play Store. And they said, hey, guys, come play in my environment and do whatever you need to do.
I get it. So think of it like Shopify, right? Shopify is the product. And if you sign up for Shopify, you create your own website. It's your own website, but it's built on Shopify. So Shopify is technically benefiting from you having built something on their platform. And it's kind of like the same way in this scenario.
Supposing, one other use case is supposing like we were talking before, we are not centralized in terms of storage. But supposing we are, and then you had ShibaDoge has its own Fitbit. I'm just making this up, right? And let's put it on steroids for a minute just to make it more valuable and useful. And everybody, all of your members who are there, get this Fitbit and we walk. It could be an app on our phone or whatever, right? We walk and you basically collect all the data, not you. Our decentralized platform collects data and we get to lock it in our wallet, all the data in the wallet, in the decentralized storage, right? Now, what you means ShibaDoge app could do is they can actually go into all of these data sets and see similar type of information across the board. Whoever has been walking, like similar heartbeat, similar rates, and whatever, right? And then, based on the users, that is me, I'm the owner of the data, not even ShibaDoge is the owner of data. I am the owner of data because it's my wallet. You can provide a marketplace for people to come, pay a certain money, which will come directly to me, and you will obviously take a share. But it will come to me, and then people will come and buy data from us. If we don't want to give, we'll not give. If we want to give, it's on our terms. Does that make sense? Today, people are anyway giving data to Apple and health monitoring apps they download, and they do all of these nice AI applications and sell that data to everybody, and we don't even know about it, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's...
You can do all of those things with your own specialization in decentralization. I mean, that's what I was saying. The moment the storage and the UI is solved, the things will be so different everywhere. Without even, I don't know about centralized. They'll become like Kodaks of the world. Kodak and, Samsung in photography, right? How Kodak became.
Yeah.
All of these centralized companies, including Meta, X, everybody will become Kodak suddenly. The day when that UI and storage is decentralized, they better be with the crowd or it's gone. It's done.
And also, Leo, the better thing as well is, as obviously your network, your blockchain starts thriving and creating those layer twos within the network, then you could even have your partnership like memes.com and everything coming on board, maybe creating their own NFTs and whatnot, to get traction within the outside world. Imagine creating an NFT on your own blockchain. I say for memes. These are sort of things that you can do within your own blockchain.
Well, see, that's the thing. It's like if we were to do something like our own, like ShibaDoge blockchain, or a blockchain for our ecosystem, and kind of want to scale that up. I think our niche, the thing that we specialize in, wouldn't be like, oh, let's go into the banking sector, or let's go into
memes, bro.
Memes, bro. Just straight up, you guys know, all these other big blockchains that specialize in, all this, whatever, finance and everything else. It's like, this is the memes blockchain, and you just call it, instead of proof of work, you just call it proof of memes, and you get what I'm saying? I think having an idea like that can be something that can scale. We all know memes can scale, right? We're in the meme coin industry. We build meme coins for years. We've invested in meme coins for years, longer than we've been building them. So yeah, definitely I see value in a meme blockchain, where other meme coin developers can come in and build their own apps and dApps and whatever else on it too. I think that's a value in itself. If we're being honest.
Dude, if I knew that if I hear something that you guys need to create, just give me that algorithm, and I can tell you now, I'll end up purchasing a lot of GPUs.
So, you have to purchase the GPUs like from like ASIC and stuff, or
okay. No. So if you want to mine, anyone can mine with what hardware they have at home. They can mine with their computers, their laptops, whatever. But at the same time, if you want to make something that's profitable, you need heavier machinery. You might need a better GPU that, you know, that's top of the line instead of your average one. It all comes down to how much you want to yield per day. So the more expensive the actual hardware, the more you're going to yield, right? The less average computer or GPU you have, you might
because you have more hash rate. Yeah, you get more hash rate with better product.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, I got it. All right, guys. Well, I guess we'll just stop talking about this for right now, and we'll get back to it after a little bit of dwelling on the idea, I guess. But in terms of like everything else, I mean, obviously we've got this whole campaign going right now for burning gold, and the Buyathon is happening. So, I mean, it's going pretty well. Like, obviously we just hit the 5 ETH threshold, so there's going to be a burn that happens on that end. And for anybody asking, Roof just explained it as well, but the buyback and burns are going to be off of the 15% that's generated through the burn token buys. So whatever's generated through that will be the amount that is bought back and burned, not the other way around for the 5 ETH thresholds that we hit. So anytime that a 5 ETH threshold is hit, we'll pretty much burn gold from our holdings, right? So that's how that's going to work.
Yeah, bro. The Atul, the guy that he's saying about the competition, the Buyathon, he's still saying there's a 2 point.
Let me mention what happened over here. So, if you guys look at if you guys are listening and you got a reward that you shouldn't have got, you could either keep it or you could do the right thing and return it, but whatever, it is what it is. Rank number 6 on the Buyathon. I mistakenly pasted the wrong address on that. I was supposed to send it to an address, let me tell you, ending in D858, but we accidentally sent it to the address ending in D2F2. D2F2 is a pretty much number 6 on the gold leaderboard. So I accidentally copied the gold leaderboard for that prize instead of the burn leaderboard. So that is going to be fixed. So we're going to send out the reward to the correct person. But if you got a reward and you weren't supposed to get a reward, I don't expect you to give it back. It is what it is. But if you do decide to do the right thing and give it back, that's completely your call.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen, bro.
I don't think it's. Yeah,
they would have been in here already, bro.
Happen either.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna happen either, but it is what it is.
They would have been in here the last 2 days, bro, saying, "Yo, I got some extra money, man." If it was me, I'd give you straight back, bro. But you know, he's saying he sent me this message. This was the last day burn event to burn the most gold in the last 2.3 hours. The prizes was 0.25 ETH, but the prize not yet announced or rolled out. Only the first 2-day event prizes was declared. That's all. Roof, thanks. That he told me to obviously mention this in the AMA.
Yeah, for sure. So when I reached out to our Twitter guy who hosted the contest, and I asked him about that first time he had messaged me about it.
Yeah.
He messaged me saying, "Here are the winners from the past 4 days, recognized for purchasing and burning the most gold within a 2 hour and 30-minute time frame. Both winners will receive 0.25 ETH. The qualifying winning wallet addresses, and then he gave me 2 wallet addresses, right? That's the post that he made. And then he's followed up and said, in the message to me, he said there were only 2 clear winners, which are above, on day 1 and day 3. The other 2 days, nobody qualified. So on the only winners are from day 1 and day 3. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, because he's mentioning the last day.
So days 2 and day 4, there was nobody that qualified.
Okay. So he says this was the last day burn event to burn the most gold in the last 2. Okay. So I mean, like he's persistent, man. He's like, I won. So yeah, I'll make him listen to this and see what he says.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean,
yeah, man.
Don't waste too much time on things like that. I mean, after we already mentioned it, persistent or not, it's just, like if you don't qualify, you don't qualify. Like, what could we tell you?
Yeah, because I wasn't too familiar with how it all went down, so I couldn't really even work it out myself, like what happened. So that's why I'm having to ask you so many times as to what happened. But that's cool, man. If you didn't win, you didn't win, bro. Yeah, that's the only question I got there. What's happening with you guys still on the project? Also, someone on YouTube is just saying, he's happy to see that we're still working on the projects and we're here, basically.
Oh man, of course, we're never going anywhere, man. Like literally the only thing that we're ever talking about is how we can expand. That's like the main goal.
Right. I think TD was trying to mention earlier on, he did put it through to me a week ago, and another person, 2 people actually put the same idea through to me, which was like locking up the gold tokens and gain locking up for 3 months or 6 months and gain a percentage at the end of it, maybe like 15% on the amount, which would obviously come from what you guys are holding, right? That was the idea. You just lock it up, so the sell pressure isn't gonna be as hard because once you've locked it, right? So that's
what do you mean sell pressure? It's not like we're selling anything from the wallet that's holding anything.
No, like if all the holders lock their tokens up, then they can't sell it, right?
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So by you guys, it's basically like staking, but he's calling it like mining, extraction, gold extraction. So you'd basically, the community would lock their tokens up for 3 months, and they'll get a percentage on the amount that they've locked up, which obviously means that everyone's locking up their tokens, which means even if they wanted to sell, they can't because they're locked up for that period of time. Which would stop people from selling, and new people coming in would jump straight into it because you can do like every month you can start another 3 months kind of thing. So everyone's tokens gets unlocked in different months, so they don't all get unlocked at the same time for you to have a sell on the chart. So
look, I'm not. I'll be honest with you guys. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of locking tokens in for anybody because, like, for example, I'll put this in example. First of all, I think doing that is kind of shady, and then second of all, it ties people in a way where if they were to have a life emergency, right? Let's say their dog got hit by a car, right? And they had to go and pay for that dog to get surgery, and they don't have the money for it, and they're like, "Oh, hey, well, I have $1,000 of gold token. I can go sell that and use that money to pay for my dog's surgery." And then they say, "Hey, oh, well, guess what? Like, I can't do that because it's locked." So I don't like the idea of letting people lock anything.
So TD also, so quickly just touch on that. TD also said, like, they can take their tokens, but if they do, they'll obviously not get the rewards, or there'll be a slight penalty to taking the tokens early. that would be another thing. So you could do like that as well.
Gotcha.
You know.
Gotcha.
That sounds like a whole new smart contract.
Yeah, that definitely is a smart contract.
Leo, there's a site that TD also mentioned where you can use it. That a lot of the projects are using. There's already one pre-built site where you can use their site. I think it's Everrise or something like that.
Yeah, so pretty much it's a smart contract that someone else has built, and that's yeah. So that's kind of like asking for trouble, because it's like, okay, let's say we lock tokens up in someone else's smart contract, and then they end up, you know,
I mentioned that too. Yeah.
And also at the same time, guys, like what like people locking up their coins, it's only going to cause problems if if people are going to be buying in, they're just going to see green candles, and then you're not going to see any more volume coming in because people are waiting for dumps. Like, you want volume. You don't want to be locking up tokens. You want to be able to create this sort of, you know, tradable coin. Like, I think everyone kind of needs to get away from staking.
I think it makes more sense when the tokens up there, you know, like it's hit some high market caps. I think it makes more sense at high market caps when there's a lot of volume happening. But I don't think
this is what I was saying with staking our NFTs. You need to be up there to get liquidity. Once you have liquidity, then that's when you could call it passive income. But I don't call passive income if you have to sell the coins once a year. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, guys, I mean, I've also been noticing, I've been just been out there seeing what's happening in crypto and AI, man. AI seems to be flipping the talk, you know, everywhere of the town, talk of the town. So maybe we should look into some AI stuff as well, Leo.
Now we've already, we've built something that we still haven't even released it yet, but the Mansa Musa like AI thing that we've built, and the reason why we haven't released it yet is because I feel like we could probably do more with it than just like bring it to life with just like that meme aspect. But yeah, you're right, man. AI does have a pretty big role in like the virality of what these crypto projects are doing right now. So that's definitely something that we've been working with like pretty extensively for the past few months, like building on it. Like we've built a few pretty cool AI programs, man. Like they're not public and nobody could use them other than us, but we're not building it to use it. We're just building it to build right now to see if we can actually build something of value.
The next Grok.
The next Grok. The problem with AI, like building an AI company or an AI token, is like there's just so much dilution and so much competition in that like AI industry right now. It's basically like a 100% gamble, like if you'll be noticed or not. It's not even about like the marketing that you do, like as a product. It's just about like there's like 3 billion different AI companies in like 2 weeks, you know? Which one are you going to look at? Exactly. Which one's attention? Yeah. And which one grabs your attention?
The one that's more possible in terms of one's going to make it is the partnerships. If you don't have partnerships, it doesn't matter if you have the best and greatest technology, but it's the partnerships that make it actually happen.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's some of them that are coming out with AI blockchains. A lot of stuff happening out there. But yeah, I know what you're saying, Leo.
I have a feeling on AI that it's going to be in the metaverse, probably where it's going to find its most interactive ability with people. I think if someone works out how to let an AI design and run a metaverse and then allow people to come in and interact within that unit, within that metaverse, with the VR and that. I think that is probably.
You know what would be interesting? You know what would be interesting, Vulcan? If a project, like a crypto project started, right? And it was an all AI project, and all of the people in the chat room, like other than the real people, like it's like 1,000 AI and they're all just like different chatbots talking to each other in a Telegram, and it is just nonstop. People have like AI having conversation with AI, and then people could come in, ask a question, it'll shift the entire algorithm up, and people will be like, dude, that would be crazy. That would be insane, bro. Imagine be like, all right, real people, we don't want real people in our community. We want AI in our community. And then imagine like these AIs are just like trading the token back and forth, and that could be pretty badass.
Yeah, and then you just sort of expand that into a 3D virtual world, essentially with the metaverse.
That's way out of my pay grade, though, man. Like, that's like rocket science to me, dude. Being able to build like a very sophisticated AI. We've built a good AI, but it's not from our own personal knowledge of building it. It's from the knowledge that other people have put out there that we just study and build it, right? Like, these people, they come up with this stuff and write the code for this and fill up their databases with all this billions and billions and billions, if not trillions of lines of information. Man, it's AI is definitely like a modern marvel. Like, it's one of the things that is going to change the world forever. And people like it. I like it too. I think it's cool, but I think we could have probably lived without it, and it'd have been better.
Yeah, it's not going to happen though.
Yeah, it's too late. It's going to take over the world.
Yeah, it's too late, bro. Everything's going to be automated. Everything's going to be AI, man. Everything. It's going to be crazy.
Yep.
We're all going to lose our jobs, bro. I'm not.
Well, thankfully, we don't have jobs. Man, but no, serious.
Yeah, like all these the taxi services, couriers, all these, it's going to be all automated, right?
Yep. Give it 10 more years, bro, and any regular labor job that exists now that doesn't involve people swinging hammers and stuff is probably going to be automated.
Yeah, like accounting, flipping,
everything.
Yeah. Even swinging hammers,
you're gonna walk into a restaurant. You're not even gonna talk to a waiter or a waitress. You're just gonna go in there and put your order in on the screen, and it's some guy in the back is gonna cook it, put it on like a cart, and that cart is going to just drive itself to you, and you're gonna take your food, or it's gonna put the food on the table for you. Yeah.
Exactly, bro. In the UK, it's an Amazon company. In Amazon, they were like, the staff were complaining, bro, like about pay and all that shit, bro. You know what they're doing? They just sacked them and they just got some bots, bro. Now the bots are doing the jobs. It's crazy.
Yeah. Hey, man, I don't know. People say it sucks to work at a fast food restaurant or whatever. But I was driving by McDonald's the other day, and they're paying people like $23 an hour starting. They had the sign right out front. And I was like, damn, that's a pretty good amount of money for like a just starting pay. Like, imagine you're like an 18-year-old kid straight out of school. You go and you get a job, $23 an hour, and you live with your parents or whatever. It's a pretty good amount of money. When I was 18 years old, I was making like, my first job, I was making like $7 an hour or something like that.
Yeah, I was making. Yeah, I know what you're saying. It's crazy, bro. But
I was making $335.
$335, yeah, man.
$335, yeah.
Uncle Junkie. Back in the days, in the 60s.
Well, anyways, guys, I'm gonna wrap this up, and I'm gonna be in the chat. So if you guys need anything from me, just tag me. We get off voice. But we had a pretty interesting conversation today. Like whether it leads somewhere or not, I think regardless, it was an interesting conversation. It was completely different than what we've had before in our talks, and I think it's healthy to change it up every now and then. Obviously, we're still doing everything that we're doing for all of our campaigns. They're still going on, and they're ongoing currently right now. So obviously you guys are all aware of what we're doing, what we got going on. I don't need to explain it or give you guys updates because it's still ongoing. But more or less, I want to spend more time talking to the community and talking to you guys about just regular stuff as well, other than like formal AMAs where I come in and make these big announcements or small announcements or whatever. Just because I'm starting to recognize more and more like how much value there is in just talking to people about what their thoughts on things are. And I think being able to have an open conversation like this with our community is very healthy. And realistically, like nobody should be shy to say anything around here. And whether you get good feedback or bad feedback from it, like you shouldn't take it personally. It's all constructive criticism or just a bunch of adults talking to each other. So no one ever has hard feelings. Like don't get offended by anything anybody says unless it's obviously offending. But that's not allowed here. So don't get yourself banned. But anyway, all that being said, guys, as always, you miss Doge, that sucks. You miss Shiba, that also sucks. You miss the ShibaDoge blockchain. Just playing. Nah, but if you miss ShibaDoge, you definitely suck. Guys, we're keeping our creative juices flowing. We're keeping our creative minds working. We want to be able to build more amazing things for this ecosystem. We want to be able to push our current projects to newer heights. And whether that has to be a stretch or whether it's a lift of a finger, it doesn't matter how hard or easy it is. That's the goal. And we're going to continuously, week after week, be working towards that goal. And yeah, some days, some weeks might be slower than others, but realistically, the goal doesn't change. The work still needs to get done, and the community participation still needs to be on par in terms of what we do internally. And that doesn't only mean like, hey, let's go out there and chill. That also just means like having open conversations like this and being able to kick back with each other and be open-minded and figure out new avenues of how we can succeed as a unit rather than just succeed as myself and the other people on the dev team. That's not the point of what we're doing any of this stuff for. So realistically, that being said, guys, I love you guys. If you guys need me, talk to me in the chat. I'll be around. I'll be back on voice pretty soon. I'll probably hop in every now and then, but we're going to have our next official AMA on Tuesday, 3:30 p.m. PST. I'll see you guys there. Peace.
Love, peace.
Peace, peace, peace.
Peace, bro.